right, welcome back, folks, to there's only one surefire way to end this problem edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find a program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate that very much. Give the video a thumbs up if you approve of the content. Appreciate that as well. Hit notifications. You'll be alerted every time a new Always Irish drops. You don't want to miss any breaking news, do you? Twitter, search bar Always Irish, rat, Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can get me. Call in line 312-900-8815. Honestly, folks, I've been pretty calm on this show since Freeman was hired. I approve of his vision. I approve on how he's working to accomplish his vision. And I couldn't honestly say the same thing about Swamp Thing. So I've been pretty calm. Not much to be mad at big picture so far in the Freeman era. We need to have a serious and honest talk about some of the elite recruiting challenges we are facing. And not even so much about that, but some of the rhetoric and the comments and the fan thoughts that are coming out as a result of it. So maybe it's time I get into mid-season Always Irish form on this one, because some of this is just bugging me. And I don't know what you people want. All right? So let's get into it. So the entire fan base is up in a tizzy, myself too. I'm not sitting up in some tower looking down on everybody. I don't like it either. Okay? We're all up in a tizzy over our top two highest rated verbally committed players, Keeley and Bowen, taking visits elsewhere. Everybody's anxious. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's on edge. Me too. I'm not acting like I'm above this. Let's examine this issue from multiple practical, logical angles. Number one, why are we in this situation? Well, two things come to mind. Why are we in this position? One, the elite of the elite want to be courted, and it's good to have options. That's number one. Perfectly fair position for an elite player, an elite player's family to have. And or number two, they're not totally sold on Notre Dame and want to compare what Notre Dame has going on to other places. If you were 100% sure you met your soulmate, there's no reason to go date anybody else after that, right? Right? Like if you knew this place is perfect for me, everything's exactly what I want, this is it forever, there is no reason to go other places. So when you ask, why are we in this situation? Those are really the only two things it could be. Elite players want to be courted. It's good to have options. You go check it out. And or verbally committed to Notre Dame, but not sold enough that you're shutting it all down. So that's number one, why we're here. Number two is the tougher question. What can be done to stop this from happening? When you got your 1 and 2 guys, the entire class is built around. They're the two highest. They've been in the class forever, and now it looks perilous. What could be done to stop this from happening? Number one is you could recruit the way Brian Kelly does and fill out half or more than half of the roster with guys Nick Saban's not calling. And then we're all complaining because there's not enough talent on our roster. But the guys we do have aren't good enough. Anybody's poaching them. There you go. You just solved your poaching problem. Fill out the roster with BKs, guys, and you don't have to worry about this. We tried that 10 years. No one was happy with the non-elite results. So that's one way you could stop it from happening. Don't go after and get the verbal commitment of the best guys to begin with. Like the old guy. I don't like that way. What's another way you could stop this from happening? You could tell them not to commit early if they're not sure what they want to do yet. I don't like that either, because at least if they commit to you early, at least you know you're the theoretical leader in the clubhouse. So I don't like telling a guy like Bowen or Keeley, I don't think you should commit to us yet. No, you're going to take those guys whenever you can get them. So that's out as how do you stop this? Do you tell them if you commit to us verbally, we don't want you to go look anywhere else? You could do that, and then you're not going to land any of these guys. They're going to say, screw you. You're out of the running. Not interested. Who are you to tell me, the 5-star, that I can't date around a little bit, test my options? If you go that route in today's modern football, forget it. You're not landing any of these guys. You're not. You're not. These guys want to be wined and dined all over. You do that, you're out of the race. So, there is no good, easy answer to this question of how do you stop this from happening and being a problem. There's no good, easy answer, but there is one answer. There is one solution, but it's not an easy one. I said there's no easy answers. There's an answer, but it ain't easy. How do you land a top guy Bama wants if you're Notre Dame? You could hope to out-recruit, out-pitch, out-personality them. All of that. All that stuff we like about Freeman. But if Marcus Freeman can't do that for Notre Dame, nobody can. Nobody can. He's as good as I've ever seen in terms of pitching Notre Dame correctly to these guys in a modern way. He's as good as I've seen. If he can't do that just based off his recruiting personality, nobody can, because he's the best I've seen do it at Notre Dame. All right? So that brings us to the only answer here. The only real answer. It's hard, but it's simple in concept. Beat Ohio State, beat Clemson, beat USC. That's the only real damn answer that's going to solve this issue. Don't allow these players to see that you are not elite on the field with results that you can't out or over recruit, because they're facts. They're facts. So that's the only answer. Win your elite games. Notre Dame's already putting a lot of guys in the league. That's not an issue. Great degree when you leave, not an issue. The one issue is you have not been elite the way Saban and Alabama has. Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. You haven't. You have not. You're a tier lower than those guys. You've been close, but not over the edge. So this brings up a chicken and the egg situation now. Elite talent breeds winning, and winning breeds elite talent wanting to go there. So it's a total chicken and the egg, right? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Win your elite games, these guys will come, but you need elite players to be in a position to win those games. That's how you end up with these extreme haves and have-nots in college football. When a team gets hot like Alabama starts racking up rings, then the recruiting breeds itself. That's the issue here. How do you flip the dynamic if you're Notre Dame? If it's not Freeman out pitching these guys somehow, the only other way to overcome this issue is elite results on the field. It's the only way. Beat Ohio State, beat Clemson, beat USC. That's it. That's it. Then you're beating the elites. That can't be held over you. Win your elite games. That's the number one solution here. It's a very tough spot, but it's the answer to this issue. It has to be. It's the only thing that could be. It's the only thing that could be. If Freeman can't out-recruit these guys with his personality and unique pitch and all that, if he can't do it at Notre Dame, nobody can. He's as good as I've seen. If that's not enough, you got to win your elite games. It's the only other thing you could do other than writing $1 million checks, which isn't going to happen. The only solution, beat Ohio State, beat Clemson, beat USC. I don't care if you lose a dumb one to somebody else, fine. Beat these three teams. And it'll eliminate some of that. You're not elite compared to Alabama. No, you beat all these teams. That doesn't give you Saban 7 rings, but it shows you for the guys in this cycle trying to decide soon, this fall, where to go. You see Notre Dame beating elite teams and programs like Ohio State and Clemson. That's your path. That's your path. So, elite wins is your fastest solution to this issue. But I get it. It causes that chicken or the egg. You need elite talent to win the elite games, and you need to win the elite games to interest elite talent. Something has to flip the dynamic. Get more out of the group you do have that I don't think has tip-top elite talent. Find a way to win anyways. Something's got to flip the dynamic. If just doing a good job in recruiting isn't enough, you need elite results to close on some of these guys. Win these games. Win these games. That's it. Now, let's move on to a couple things I've been seeing on social media lately that I got to push back on in this regard. Number one, oh, John, it's garbage that these guys are verbally committed to Notre Dame, but they're looking elsewhere, and these slimy SEC coaches are coming after our guys. That is garbage. Hello? Notre Dame's doing the exact same thing. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. We're doing the same thing. Dante Moore didn't come here. Now we need a quarterback in this class. What do? Go down the list, find guys committed elsewhere, tell them we didn't like you before, now we do. Leave there, come to Notre Dame. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't. So I cannot listen to Notre Dame fans or look at their tweets saying that's bad form. Why are they doing that? That's dirty. We are trying to flip verbally committed guys from other places to Notre Dame. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So you don't get to have it both ways. Very hypocritical take. That's number one. Number two, I've seen a lot of this. John, We're losing elite recruiting momentum. I don't like it. I've had a lot of those messages. John, it just feels like we're losing that elite momentum. Well, under the last guy, at no point in any of his recruiting cycles did you even have any national elite recruiting momentum to lose. So you're already ahead of the damn game. Sitting at 1 or 2 or 3 and 247, and people are acting entitled all of a sudden. Who the hell do you think Notre Dame is? Why are you acting like we've been winning elitely and you're entitled to the #1 class out of nowhere? You got to earn that. And a part of that is elite winning on the field we have not done. It's the one thing we haven't done. Freeman can't out-recruit that. It's a fact. So, oh, John, I'm freaking out. We're losing the elite recruiting momentum. Under Swamp Thing, you never even had any to worry about losing. So you're already ahead. You're already ahead. Just how entitled is this fan base? Nobody said this would be easy. Number 3. If we lose Bowen and Keeley, this is a Brian Kelly class. No difference at all. I've already seen that. I get practically how you could then look at the guys we have, their numbers, and say that. But it totally discredits how different this recruiting effort is and is going to be long term. This is a short-term overreaction, and it's disingenuous. Anyone paying attention can see how different this effort is going to be moving forward. It's night and day to Brian Kelly, and it will pay off even if it doesn't right away. It will. No one, there's so many different ways this recruiting effort is light years ahead of Brian Kelly. All the creativity, modernity, energy, vibe, communication, time frames. This group is on, guys, 2 to 3 years earlier than they would be on Kelly's radar. It all makes a difference. So I get the frustration, but we went from Brian Kelly, never elite, to now everybody expects it to go perfect and you're #1 in one offseason. That's a lot of entitlement that I got to ask our own fan base, where did it come from? It isn't elite results on the field. So why do we feel entitled to this #1, #2 class on Easy Street? You got to earn it. You got to earn it. And the best way is to win your elite games. That proves all you need to prove. If Notre Dame wins their elite games, has Freeman doing his recruiting pitch, and then still can't land, guys, I got questions. But until then, win your elite games, land elite talent. It's that simple. That is the #1 way to solve this issue. Easier said than done. Chicken or the egg. Elite winning breeds elite recruiting. Elite recruiting breeds winning. You got to, somewhere in this calculation, you got to flip the dynamic. Somewhere. because that's how it goes. Chicken or the egg. So you got to break the chain somewhere. Either recruit well enough you could overcome not winning a major bowl game my whole life, or do it the other way. Build the guys up you have, get more out of them than Kelly, beat Ohio State and Clemson, and then you're in a better place. But to me, that's the only answer. Win your elite games, and then there's nothing to negatively recruit on you about. Beat Ohio State. Good night.